Here's an overview of this Garmin GPS. It is the best GPS we've had from Garmin. I'm just going to run through the features so you know exactly what you're getting. All right, now first of all, it's got a little release button up front, which means that you can pick this thing up and move it around with you in the vehicle. You don't have to pop it off the glass. It just pops off right here. It plugs in on the back, and then it plugs into your USB or old school cigarette lighter. You can hide that cord really artfully on your dash if you want to. We just leave ours dangling right here. As for the navigation, it has this kind of cool 3D perspective, and you can change that. Like, you can change it so that your orientation is where you're going, or you can change it to true north. So even if you're moving straight ahead, you might be going down on the map. It does have some haptic sounds to let you know that you're entering things. And for a GPS, it's pretty smart. Like if I just put in 2825 great, it will ask me if I'm looking for New York, Pennsylvania, or Ontario. Now, in addition to being able to enter an address, you can also search for things just like on a smartphone. You can search for national parks, intersections, restaurants, all kinds of stuff like that. Mainly under categories, you get things like gas stations, restaurants, and it will basically just find the stuff that's near you. So I've got a Valero gas station 2 miles away. Let's say we're going there. I'm going to start a new route. It will calculate and we're on the way. It seems like since the advent of the cell phone, everyone uses their phone for a GPS. But we find that a dedicated GPS is kind of nicer, and most importantly, it doesn't kill our phone batteries. If we're out driving all day doing different things, it's not like we're killing the battery on the phone and having to charge it up. It's just a dedicated GPS. It's always here. It's part of the car. Since the car doesn't have one, it will get you no matter what, exactly where you're going.
Hey guys, Paul from Golfers Authority. When was the last time you heard of the company Izzo? For me, it's been a minute. The company is most known for making golf bags and accessories. But what if I told you this lesser known company makes one of the best golf GPSs on the market? Well, they do. In fact, the Swami 6000 has all the features you need, and it's at a great price point. Unlike a lot of GPSs, the Swami 6000 comes preloaded with more than 38,000 courses. Unless you're playing on a different planet, chances are your favorite track is already on there. And when we think of yardages, the most important ones are the front, middle, and back of the green. Yeah, the Swami comes with that too. But what about yardages to water hazards, bunkers, and the like? Those are included as well. In short, you'll never be left guessing about important yardages to anything. And how about function, ease of use? It seems like you need a degree in nuclear engineering to operate some of these bad boys. That's definitely not the case here with the Swami 6000. When you turn the device on, it automatically recognizes the course you're playing on. Now, if you ask me, that's pretty cool. As you go through your round 2, the Swami automatically knows what hole you're on without having to switch back and forth on the screens. This thing is full of extra features. It allows you to keep score via digital scorecard. You can also track putts and greens in regulation. The display is second to none. Vibrant colors and large font keeps you from squinting, even in the brightest of conditions. Even though Izzo might not be a household name, they make one of the best golf GPS on the market. Even better is the fact the Swami 6000 won't break the bank.
Hey there tech fans, Rick here again with another review, and today I have the brand new DJI Mini 3 Pro drone. Now I've been flying this drone for a couple of months, and I think it might be the perfect drone for new flyers that have never owned a drone before and are looking to get into the hobby, or even experienced flyers that have been flying for years and they have a bigger drone and they're looking for something smaller that's easier to bring on vacation and still capture some pretty incredible pictures and amazing video footage. And that's exactly what the Mini 3 Pro provides. Now I'm going to spend a few minutes and talk about the high points of what separates this drone from a lot of other drones on the market, because DJI spent a lot of time putting the Mini 3 Pro together, and it's based on two previous generations of drones, the original Mavic Mini and the Mini 2, and what the Mini 3 represents is an evolution from those earlier models that include features that absolutely blow me away when I go through them. So let's start off with the drone itself. DJI offers this product in three different packages. If you're a flyer already that owns an RCN1 controller like this, so if you have a Mavic Air 2, or you've got a Mini 2, or you've got the Air 2S, you've already got this controller, you can buy the drone on its own. And you'll save a few dollars by doing that, and that's a great way to control it with the controller that you already own. If you don't own a controller, you can buy the drone with either of the two controllers that are released with this brand new product, the RCN1, or you can buy it with the new DJI RC controller, which includes an embedded screen. So you have a couple of different options in the way you can buy the drone, and depending on your flying needs and your experience, you can choose one of those three options to get started. Now my preference is the integrated controller, because with the integrated controller, everything you need is right here in your hands. It's got a display built in. You'll basically boot up the controller, boot up the drone, put it up in the air and start flying. If you go with the RCN1, that allows you to use your existing phone or your tablet and connect it up there and use that as your display. So if you'd like a larger display like a tablet, you'll want to go with the RCN1, but both of these work really well. And the reason they work really well is the Mini 3 is based on OcuSync 3 or O3 transmission technology, and that's a proprietary technology that connects the controller to the drone and guarantees a rock-solid connection out to 12 kilometers away. Now you can't fly the drone that far in the US because you're limited by your visual line of sight, so you always have to keep the drone in sight, but knowing you've got a strong signal to fly that far means you're not going to have any issues flying it in close if you get into a noisy area or there's a lot of obstructions in the area where you're flying. So the O3 technology is really important. Another cool feature that they built in is three-directional obstacle avoidance, which means this drone can sense danger in front, in back, and below it. So when you're flying along, if you're heading for a tree, the drone will see that tree and it'll stop. It won't let you actually crash the drone. And that's a big improvement over the Mini 2. Another option you have when you buy the drone is to get it with the lighter battery. Now this is a 250 gram drone, which is really important because in the US, if the drone weighs less than 250 grams, you don't have to worry about registering it. You can basically buy it, charge it, and put it up in the air and fly it. You still have to follow the FAA regulations, but you're under the 250 grams. If you're somewhere else in the world, it can be a really big deal because in other countries, if you're over the 250 grams, you may have to get insurance, you may have to take a test. It's a whole big deal. So being under 249 grams could mean something to you if you're outside the country. And you have two choices in batteries. You can go with the original battery here, which is a lighter battery, and that'll give you 34 minutes of flight time, which again is incredible, but that'll keep you under the 249 grams. They also offer a plus battery, which will give you a whopping 45 minutes of flight time on a single charge, which is unheard of, and that'll raise the weight over that 250 grams. So if you're in the US and you want to use the bigger batteries or the plus batteries, you'll have to register the drone. But again, it's not that big a deal. It's $5. You get one number you can use on all the drones you're flying, and then you can fly for a couple of years and not have to worry about it again. So my recommendation is, if you buy the drone, you're going to get it with the 249 gram battery. If you buy the plus kit, which is a Fly More combination that gives you a couple extra batteries and a charger, I would go with the plus combination because those extra minutes up in the air make all the difference, because you're flying out to a target, you're taking a few minutes to frame that target correctly, you're recording footage, and having an extra 10 minutes of flight time when you're on that target can really make a big difference. So always go with the plus when you can. All right, so I mentioned flight time already. Again, 34 minutes or 45 minutes, depending on the battery you're using, which is far longer than most other drones that are up in the air today. But again, the reason you're buying the drone, number one, is to have fun. It's a whole lot of fun to put a drone up in the air and start flying. But the second reason, which is just as important to me, is the kind of image I can capture. I want to get a crystal clear image of whatever it is I'm focusing on. If I'm over a beautiful lake and maybe I'm sightseeing and there's a lighthouse and I want to get a perfect shot of that lighthouse, you want to make sure that the camera system inside the drone can capture that footage and take those beautiful photos really easily from the application. So inside the drone, they've actually built a larger sensor. It's a 1/1.3 inch sensor, which can capture 48 megapixel pictures and it records 4K footage at 60 frames a second, which is absolutely incredible. It's almost like you've got a DSLR camera flying around up there in the sky, taking those photos and capturing that video for you. So you're going to get phenomenal imaging. Another cool feature they built into this too is that normally you're shooting footage that's horizontal or landscape, and it's got a nice wide field of view, so you're going to capture a lot of really interesting information in front of you. This drone can flip the camera vertically so you can do portrait shots. So if you're into Instagram or any of those social media channels that likes to have that stand-up picture, you can actually do it with the drone, and you can control that from the remote just by tapping a button. So they're building a lot of features into it. In addition to that, DJI is really big on making it easy to fly. So the drone itself, when you first put it up, has a tremendous amount of artificial intelligence built in, where the minute it lifts off, it'll immediately become stable in the air, so it's not going to drift on you, it's not going to move around, it flies really well, it responds quickly to the controls, so it's a dream to fly the unit. But in addition to that, there are automated features built in where if you've never flown a drone before, it can be a little bit difficult to put it up and you've got a group of friends with you and have that drone circle you to capture a 360 view. Well, there's software built into the drone where a couple of button pushes, it'll automatically take that shot for you. Matter of fact, there's a group of settings inside the unit where one of them will circle you in a 360, another one will fly away from you, another one will shoot straight up and create that tiny planet image. So there's a lot of pre-programmed artificial automated flight patterns built into it that literally 10 minutes into putting the thing up in the air, you can be an amazing director and capture some incredibly cool footage. There's also software built in called Master Shots that allows you to take that and build it into a really nice video reel that you can post to your social media channel. So all of that's built into the software, and that's really what separates DJI from a lot of the other drone companies in the market, is you're not just buying a drone, you're buying an ecosystem of product that allow you to do amazing things right out of the gate and make it easier and a lot more fun to fly the drone. Another cool thing about it is that it folds up really small. So right now I've got it fully open, and believe me, it's a small drone, but it flies like a big drone. It's incredibly stable in the air. It can handle a level 5 wind, so you can put it up in like 25-mile-an-hour winds. It's still going to take amazing footage. It's got a 3-axis stabilized gimbal on the front. So a lot of other drones may have a 2-axis gimbal, and the 3rd axis they're going to actually do with digital stabilization. This one has a 3-axis gimbal in it, which means no matter what's happening to that drone up in the air, that image is going to be rock solid, and that's going to take charge. Also, the software behind how that gimbal manages that movement is really critical, and DJI has honed their craft around that to give you a rock-solid image no matter what the conditions are up in the sky. Now, to fold it up, it couldn't be simpler. You'll basically fold these two arms in like this, and you'll fold these top arms down like that, and you can see when this is folded up that it literally is about the same size as a can of soda. So when I pack it away in my bag, it's like having an extra sneaker in the bag. It's that small. So when you're going on vacation, you'd look at this and think, man, I don't know if I can trust that. It's so tiny. I'd be worried about putting it up in the air. It absolutely does a great job. Even in stiff winds, you're going to have a lot of fun with it. So I love the size. And that's really one of the things that I think most people fall in love with, is the fact that there are larger drones out there. So if you're doing commercial work, you'll probably want to look at something like an Air 2S or a Mavic 3. And those do a great job, but they're bigger drones. They're not as easy to bring on vacation. The Mini 3 Pro was designed to be a traveler's buddy. It's designed to be the drone that you can throw in your bag and you show up at that beautiful location and you're having family, your family and friends are there and you want to get some beautiful photography and some great video. This is the drone to go with. So again, everything you've heard today in this review is built into this product, and I think it represents pretty much the pinnacle of 249 and below gram drones available on the market today. It's just an astoundingly cool product. So I hope you found this review helpful, and until next time, stay nerdy.